Hi, I am here to talk about why I chose Children's Hospital of St. Paul. Um, they do go out of their way for anyone, and if it weren't for them, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. So, when I was about 6, well, I'm 14 now, but when I was 6, I went to the doctor's office because my mom realized that I was drinking about 10 glasses of water a day, and I was constantly crabby, and my face was always red. And they told me that I had diabetes, and they sent me to Children's Hospital St. Paul. I was there for about a week, and they did not let us leave until my parents and I both knew exactly what to do with my diabetes. And they did a very good job with explaining it, and they got me feeling better within a couple days, and I was great. I was happy there. It was fun. They had playrooms, and they had bingo that came around like once a week, and it was a lot of fun. And then about 2 years later, I got the flu really bad, and my mom brought me to the hospital. And after I was there for about 3 hours or so, they told me that it was not a common flu, that something else was wrong with me, and that they were not going to let me go back home. So I had to stay there overnight, and I think I was there for about 4 days when I started screaming because it felt like someone stabbed me in the stomach. I was screaming, and they had a surgeon come in, and it was within 3 minutes. It didn't take long for the surgeon to get to my room at all. And he felt of my stomach, and that's the last thing I knew. They put a mask on me, and I was out. Well, it happened to be that my appendix burst, and I was near death, but they got to me on time. And then I was in the hospital for about a week for that to recover, and I recovered great. And it happened to be that week that I had my appendix burst, the surgeons that were in the hospital were from the Mayo Clinic, so I got lucky from that. My scar is barely noticeable anymore because of the great surgeons we had. And then after I recovered from that, about a year ago, I got swimmer's ear really bad because we have a pool, and I was constantly in it, and my ears were constantly wet inside. I ended up with swimmer's ear, and I'm just going to tell you right now, we absolutely hate the clinic we have in my town. They don't care about their patients. I mean, they're just horrible. So, I got swimmer's ear. They gave me medication for it. It started to feel a little better. But then one day, when I woke up, it felt like something was crammed in my ear. And by that night, it was so bad I couldn't handle it. I was crying. My mom brought me to the emergency room here in my town, the hospital that we don't like, obviously. And they looked in my ear, and the response was, "Oh, it's very inflamed. We're just going to give you this and send you home." So, on the way out to the car, it started to hurt worse. I took the medication when we got home. The next morning, it was the same. And it never really did heal. But one day, I think it had to have been about 3 or 4 days later after that happened. My ear completely went deaf. I couldn't hear anything in it. My mom brought me back to the same emergency room. They looked in my ear and they said, "Oh, well, we don't know why you're deaf, but it looks like you just can't hear, so you're just going to have to see what happens." We were not happy about that. So, on our way out to the car, I went deaf in the other ear. I went completely deaf. I started screaming. I didn't know what was going on. And my mom said, "This is it. We are never coming back to this emergency room again." She brought me to Children's Hospital of St. Paul. And they looked in my ear and they said that I think it was the eardrum, got suctioned up against my ear canal or something like that. So it was blocking it. And they told me there that is more likely the problem. But they said, "I want you to come back in and see our ENT." So a couple days later, I went into the ENT, and he said that there was nothing wrong in my ear and that he only sees this about 4 times a year. My nerves in my ear completely died, and he told me that it might not happen in the other ear. It's possible that it could, but he didn't think it would. But he told me that if I had anything weird happen to the other ear, to get right back in and see him. He wanted to see me. And I just feel like Children's Hospital of St. Paul actually care. If I don't make an appointment to see my endocrinologist for a while, for my diabetes, for a checkup, they actually call and tell me that they want to see me to check up to see how I'm doing. And if that were the hospital here in town, they wouldn't care if I came in. They don't care if they see me. And they're just very kind of rude. And the Children's Hospital of St. Paul, I know, has a very, very good center for cancer, because I know a few people that have gone through it. And I just feel like there's no other hospital I could like better. Even when my family decides to go on vacation and we go out of town, I don't want to go for the reason of I don't want to be away from Children's Hospital. Because I know if something goes wrong with me, I know Children's Hospital always is there by my side. And I don't trust any other hospital other than Children's in St. Paul. So I just wanted to share what I thought about Children's Hospital of St. Paul. They're great. And they're probably my hero. If I had to talk about one of my heroes, they're my hero. So yeah.